violent uprising against an authority of government. So we can put down ICE as the authority of government in this situation, and we can put down the violent uprising as the protesters, right? As these protests grow and they get more violent, it's almost obvious that the Insurrection Act could be put into play here. That's why J.D. Vance is now mentioning it, because, you know, it's only getting worse. We could have done this from the beginning when they were blocking off cars and throwing things at the buildings and ramming the door with the stop sign, right? I know I showed photos of all this in the past, but this is where we're at. The Insurrection Act, it's really going to come into play. And I know the Democrats are really going to fight this and say that this is ridiculous. This is Trump being a dictator once again, using his power on the states, right? Okay. What is, again, I already defined insurrection, right? A violent uprising against a government authority, okay? And I know when January 6th happened, you know, back in 2020, that was an insurrection, right? That was the word pasted all over every liberal news outlet. This Trump's insurrection against the United States, the violent insurrection in January 6th, and that was a huge, big deal, right? Okay, so now that we know what an insurrection is, right, liberals? You want to claim January 6th was an insurrection, a violent uprising. I don't think that was anywhere near the violence that we're seeing in these ICE protests that the far left is putting on. But anyways, you want to claim that as an insurrection? Well, guess what? We're going to claim this one as an insurrection because it is actually an insurrection.